Welcome to this crochet dragon tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet this dragon plushie. Let's get straight into the tutorial. So the materials that you will need are a crochet hook. I'm using a 5mm crochet hook, a yarn needle, scissors, 12mm safety eyes. You'll need weight 6 yarn in your primary color that you want your dragon to be. I'm using Premier Parfait Chunky yarn and I'm using the color lilac. And you will also need white yarn for your secondary color. And finally, you will need stuffing. So you're going to begin by grabbing your purple yarn as we are going to make the legs. So to start off with the leg, you are going to want to do 5 single crochets into the magic ring. So to make our magic ring, I will be using the 2 chain method. So first of all, I do a slip knot. And then I chain 2. And then I will be doing my 5 single crochets into that first chain here. Now for round 2, I'm going to do 5 increases. So an increase is doing 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. So this will take us up to 10 stitches. Now we are going to be single crocheting for the next 3 rounds. So from rounds 3 to 5, we are just going to single crochet all the way round. So go ahead and single crochet for 3 rounds. So once you've completed those 2 rounds, we can just leave a very small tail. And then we will just pull through to finish off. Now you will need to make 3 more legs exactly like this one, so that you have 4 legs in total. So go ahead and crochet 3 more legs identical to this one. So once you have your 4 legs, we can put those aside for a moment as we're going to begin crocheting the body, and we won't need these for a few rounds until when we crochet them onto the body. So for the body, we are using our primary color again, and we are going to begin by doing 8 single crochets into the magic ring. Now for round 2, we are going to be doing 8 increases, and this will take us up to 16 stitches. So I'm just going to be using a piece of scrap yarn as my stitch marker. So I'm just going to pop that in. And now I'm going to get the legs ready as we will be crocheting them on in this round. So I'm going to work round with you. We're going to grab our first leg, and you can see where the first stitch of the last round is and where the last stitch of the last round is. So you can see this is the last stitch and this is the first stitch of the last round. It goes up and down. And what we want to do is we want to go in from the inside of the leg into the first stitch of the last round. So the one that's down, and we're going to go into the leg from the inside And then at the same time, we're also going to go into the next stitch of the body. So put our hook in there as well. And then we are going to single crochet through both of those stitches. So single crochet. So that's one single crochet with the leg. Now we're going to go into the next stitch of the leg. So the one that was the last stitch of the last round, you can see how it goes up here. The one that the tail is coming out of. We're going to go into that stitch of the leg from the inside and then into the next stitch of the body. So right here. And we're going to go into that stitch with our hook. And then once again, we're going to single crochet through both of them. So now you've done 2 single crochets with the leg. Now we're going to do 3 single crochets just into the body. So just into the following 3 stitches of the body, we will single crochet. And now we're going to grab our next leg and we're going to do exactly the same thing. So from the inside, we're going to go into the first stitch of the last round of the leg from the inside. And then also into the next stitch of the body. And then single crochet. Then into the last stitch of the last round where the tail is coming out of the leg. And the next stitch of the body. And single crochet. Now we will do 1 single crochet just into the next stitch of the body. And then we will grab our next leg. And we're going to do the same thing again. Into the inside of the leg from the first stitch of the last round, and also into the next stitch of the body at the same time, single crochet, and then into the stitch where the tail is coming out of in the leg, and into the next stitch of the body, single crochet. Then we'll do 3 single crochets just into the next 3 stitches of the body. So 1, 2, and 3. Then we will grab the final leg and once again go into the first stitch of the last round of that leg from the inside, the next stitch of the body, and single crochet. And then the last stitch of the last round of that leg where the tail's coming out of, and the next stitch of the body and single crochet. And now we just need to single crochet into the stitch where our stitch marker is coming out of. So just in the body for the last stitch of that round. So we have technically crocheted the legs onto the body now. However, in the next round, we will be single crocheting around the outside and that will properly connect the legs. So basically round 4 will include the stitches around the outside of the body and legs. So each 2 single crochets where the body and legs were crocheted together in the last round will not be included. So wherever we crocheted the body and legs together on the inside here, these will not be included, these stitches here. So I'm going to show you how to do this round as well. So we're going to begin by going around the first leg here, and we're just going to do 8 single crochets around this leg. So if we have a look, we can find the first stitch of the leg that is not connected to the body. So you can see this stitch is already connected to the body here. So we don't want to go into that one, we want to go into this one because it's not connected. So we will do 1 single crochet and then we'll do 7 more single crochets around this leg. So now we've done 8 single crochets into this leg. You can see this stitch here in the leg that we haven't gone into is connected to the body, so we ignore it. And we're going to jump straight on to these 3 stitches in the body that haven't been crocheted into with the legs. So we're going to do 3 increases into those 3 stitches. So we'll find the first stitch of the body that the legs haven't been crocheted into, so this one. Put our hook in there and do an increase. Then also do an increase in the stitch next to it in the body, and also the stitch next to it in the body. Now we need to go around our second leg here. So we've just gone around our first leg. So for our second leg, we need to find the first stitch of the leg that's not connected to the body. So right here, you can see this stitch is straight away connected to the body already, so we ignore this stitch Instead, we're going to go straight into this one as it's not connected to the body, and we'll single crochet. Now we need to do 8 more single crochets round the rest of this leg. Now we are just going to do 1 single crochet into the stitch of the body that is not connected to the leg at all. So there's only 1 stitch here that's not connected to any leg, and it's right here. And we're just going to single crochet into that stitch. Now, once again, we're going to find the stitch from the next leg that isn't connected to the body. So this one is connected, but this one is not. So we go into that stitch, and then we'll do 7 more single crochets around the rest of that leg. Now that we've done that, we once again have to do 3 increases into these 3 stitches of the body that haven't been crocheted into with the leg. So we need to find our first one that hasn't been crocheted into. So here it is here. You can see that it is not attached to the leg here. So we will increase into that stitch and then increase into the 2 following stitches of just the body. Now we need to single crochet all the way around this very last leg. So once again, we'll find the first stitch of that leg that is not connected. So you can see this one is connected to the body, but this one is not. So we're going to put our hook into that one, single crochet, and then we do 7 more single crochets around the rest of this leg. And now to finish off, we are just going to single crochet into that stitch where the stitch marker is. So now you have completed that round. I know that round was super complicated, but do not fret. That is the most complicated round in this entire pattern, and you've already gotten through it. If you did really struggle with that round, I also have an example of how to do it in my 3-in-1 crochet cow tutorial, which I will link above. And having a different look at that one might help you out if you really struggled with it. As well, I have in-depth instructions in the written pattern, which will be linked in the description. Okay, so now you can tell that the outside of the body is all the way around, just like this. So now we are going to single crochet for 2 rounds straight, all the way around the outside. Don't worry about skipping stitches anymore because now you've got it all sorted from the last round. So now you're just going to single crochet for 2 rounds straight. So now that you've completed those 2 rounds of single crochet, now we are going to do 21 single crochets and a decrease times by 2, and this will take us down to 44 stitches. So for round 8, we are going to do 3 single crochets and 2 decreases, then 8 single crochets and 2 decreases, another 8 single crochets and 2 decreases, and then 13 single crochets to finish off. This will take us down to 38 stitches. So now for the next round, we are going to do 3 single crochets, then 2 single crochets and a decrease times by 8, and then another 3 single crochets. And this will take us down to 30 stitches. So for the next few rounds, when you are decreasing, you're going to want to decrease into the front loops only. This is my version of an invisible decrease. So when you are decreasing, just go into this front loop here. So you can see how your hook is in the middle of the 2 loops instead of going through both of them. So do that just for your decreases in the following rounds, and this will prevent holes from opening up from decreasing so quickly. So for round 10, we're going to do 3 single crochets and a decrease times by 6, and this will take us down to 24 stitches. Now we are going to go ahead and add some stuffing. So we're going to focus on just stuffing the legs mostly for now, and a little bit of the body, just to really make sure that the legs have enough stuffing in them for later on. We will continue stuffing in a few rounds, but for the following round we are going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease times by 6. Now you might want to finish stuffing, so finish off, grab the rest of your stuffing and put it inside the body. Now for the second last round we are going to do single crochet and a decrease times by 6. Now for the final round we are going to do 6 decreases to finish off. So now that you've finished that round, we're going to want to leave a bit of a long tail. This is because we need to sew up the top, and we also need to sew up some of the holes that are between the legs on the bottom. So we're just going to leave quite a long tail. You can leave about that long. And then we are going to pull through to finish off. So we're going to grab our yarn needle. And what we want to do is we're going to want to sew the top closed. So we are going to sew in and out of the front loops only all the way round. So we're going to go into the first front loop and pull. And then out of the second front loop, into the third front loop, out of the fourth front loop, into the fifth front loop, and out of the sixth front loop. And then you can just pull tight, just like that, and that will close up the top. Now you're going to want to bring your yarn tail through to the other side. So somewhere between the legs down here, just brought mine through to about here. And now I'm going to sew up any holes, so like this one, with my yarn tail. So go ahead and you're going to want to go across the bottom, and any holes that may have opened up in between the legs, just sew them up properly so that they aren't open anymore. So once you are happy with how these holes are sewed up, you can just bring the tail to the other side of the body, and then we can just cut the remainder of the tail off. So big congratulations, you just finished your body. This is a 4-legged body, so it is pretty tricky, so good job. And now we are going to move on to the tail. So you're going to once again grab your purple yarn, and we're going to begin by doing 6 single crochets into the magic ring. Then for round 2, you are going to do single crochet, then 2 increases, and then 3 single crochets. And this will take us up to 8 stitches. Now for round 3, we are just going to single crochet around. So single crochet for 8 stitches. For round 4, you need to do a single crochet, then 2 increases, and then 5 single crochets. Then for round 5, you'll do 2 single crochets, then 2 increases, and then 6 single crochets, and this will take us up to 12 stitches. Now for the final round, you are just going to single crochet all the way round. So now we're going to leave a bit of a tail for sewing. And then we'll pull through to finish off. Now we're going to put our tail to the side. Thank you so much for watching part 1 of this crochet dragon tutorial. If you would like to complete your dragon, then make sure to watch part 2. It'll be linked in the description.